I see the waves. You can hear me. I can hear myself. Headphones are on. And that's how long it basically takes for me to set up and make sure that everything's smooth. 3, 2, and. What's up, guys? Asad Hashim Ali back again with episode number 5 of Behind the Grind Monologue with me, Asad Hashim Ali, and myself, Asad Hashim Ali, and yourself, whoever you may not be, because I am Asad Hashim Ali. Today, I'm going to talk about a couple of things. Today, I'm going to talk about 3 things primarily. The first one is about a reflection on myself. The second is about a reflection on the CAIE grades that came out recently, considering I am a teacher. And the third topic that I want to talk about is a guest who I will be having on my next episode of Behind the Grind, the podcast where I sit with people who I think I can learn from, people whose grind I admire, and I think I should just start writing that line down and trademarking it everywhere. So, over the past couple of weeks, I had been thinking about myself. I had been reflecting on some feelings and, my current state in my profession and my career, and also about just what I've done over the past, what I've accomplished. And I'm very grateful for what I've accomplished, and I'm very grateful for what I have in my life and what I've been given. But sometimes that gratitude won't stick for long, or doesn't stick permanently. Just like happiness is just it's short lived. Gratitude, sometimes I feel that it's the reality. You can't be 100% grateful all the time. You are bound to sometimes feel bouts of sadness or whatever you want to call it, the opposite of gratitude. And I had that moment, I guess, a couple of weeks ago where I was basically feeling stuck. I felt like I wasn't getting a challenge in my career. Having started Backspace, things are picking up now. I'm very happy about that, very grateful for that. The work environment is awesome. Things at home are great. But I felt that I was still stuck because I felt like I wasn't moving in any way. I felt that I was, just complacent in some way or form, or that I wasn't doing something great or sexy or for that matter. So I felt like I basically needed a challenge. And even though I'm doing multiple things, like I'm working on a couple of other projects outside of work with some friends of mine. I'm, there's Backspace. I'm teaching as well. Taking care of the family. There's a lot of things that I do. Yet I felt that I was stuck. So I went to some mentors of mine. I went to people who I thought I looked up to. One of them was Bilal Hamid. And, I just shared that I feel a little stuck, and सामने से ही सुनने को मिला कि भाई just be grateful for what you have. But then also I realized was that what something that he said along with someone else also said to me was, take things slow. Remind yourself to be patient. You say you're patient, but you need to remember to be patient, or you need to remember to be even more patient than what you are right now. Because they said to me was that, you're not always going to have like a fast-paced life, or you're not always going to have something that's, sexy or great every single month of your life. And those little obstacles that you have to overcome are going to come with time, and you can't rush that process. And just because you think that you are stuck or you're stagnating does not necessarily mean you're stuck or stagnating. It just means that you're waiting for another challenge to come, and that's a-okay. Because in that challenge to come, you need to go through this whole process of learning right now. And when I heard learning, the first thing that came to my mind was that, okay, I need to learn a new skill. I need to pick up a course. I need to read a book, and that I do. And I'll get to that in a second. But what I also realized was that it's not just the learning about like sitting and studying again, or, actively picking up a new skill, but it's also about the day-to-day interactions with people. It's about the day-to-day grind that you go through, whether that's fun or not. That is part of the learning as well. And it's that these small little micro steps are which are going to help me in the future. And when I heard that from my mentors, it just picked me up instantly, and I was like, well, okay. Firstly, am I in the right place? And the answer was, yeah, dude, you're doing solid. So that was like a pat on my back. And then hearing that it's these micro lessons that I need to absorb, and which are going to help me in the future as well, is what then got me to ground myself, realign my thoughts, and get back to normal again. And instantly I was able to focus more on what I was doing. I was able to manage my time wisely. I wasn't getting lost in thoughts. And also the things that I am learning right now, I'm learning better. If anything, I might not be giving it the time that I'm required to, but in my mind I know that For example, I'm shooting this on a Sunday. Sunday is my day. Sunday is the day where I can either shoot a video, or I can do that systems thinking course, or I can go and figure out what NLP is, and I can do whatever the learnings I want to be doing are. And that's my time. And I'm, abiding by that more and more and more. And it's good. I think it really helped. So if you're watching this, mentor one, mentor two, thank you very much. And mentor number three, thank you very much for helping me and, in picking me up. The second thing that I want to talk about is the CAIE results. Now, what happened was that when the grades came out, that day before the grades came out, actually, I wrote something on Facebook, and there was a blog post that I basically made, and I just wrote something. I was like, I remember the time when I was going through this, and I didn't get like solid grades, but I also reminded myself was that it's a-okay, and I don't remember what exactly I wrote, but I'll put it up here. And after that, I saw many people resort to Facebook. I'm not saying, I was a trendsetter. No, please, that's not me. But what I was saying was that I saw many people resort to social media and to um, express their opinions about how the Cambridge system is unfair and how there's so much competition amongst kids and how parents add to that pressure as well. And I can't disagree. That's the thing. I can't disagree by the fact that the Cambridge system might be unfair, because it's that MCQs are there, and it's a binary system. Either you do great or you don't do good, and there's so many other factors involved in that. The fact of you falling ill the day before your exam, or someone in your family passing away, will have no impact on will actually give no, it won't be considered in your final result, which in a way sucks as well. But what I wanted to say was that many people spoke up to me, and they said that many people reached out to me on Instagram, and they said that my friend is going through this, or I can't figure out how to pick myself up. And at that time I started to think was that yeah, you might say that your parents are the root cause. When I say you, I mean people, general people have expressed that parents are creating a lot of competition. And there's been quite a few social media posts about this as well, that parents are indeed causing a lot of stress on their kids. And because they say कि यश शुगफ्ता के बेटे का तो ये आया था, तुम्हारा क्यों नहीं आया था, and it sucks. But my answer to all of this, to the whole grade dilemma, is that, and I might be late in expressing this, I don't know, but your grades are going to matter. It's the competition is immense in going to college, and your grades will matter for sure. But how are we going to try to stop competing with one another? Why are we not trying to reduce the competition amongst one another? Colleges need the grade for you to accept you and to filter you out. But then, just because I got an A* and my buddy got a D, why was I not there to help him make sure that he too could get an A*, or at the very least a B? Thoughts? How are we? Why don't we actually step in and help each other? Why don't we sit in class and actually discuss how can we move forward together? When clearly there is that one kid in class who isn't understanding trig in add math, and there is that one kid in literature who isn't understanding what Shakespeare is saying. Well, multiple kids. And clearly there are those kids who sit in Pak studies and in Islamiyat and who don't understand what's going on. Why are we not there? Why is the school not making sure that the kids sit together and are pushing them forward? That's my question. And when are we going to stop focusing on cracking the test rather than learning? You need the grade. The exam is there to see whether or not you have understood the coursework. But then, just because you understand the coursework, you don't necessarily have to get an A* to show that you understood it, right? When are we going to be examined for how much we have learned and how we have used our learnings? I don't know. That's my thought. That's my take on it. And I guess what I'm trying to say by all of this is that, well, if you're a student of mine, if you're watching this in any way, then, and you see any kid, whether you're older or you're younger, and you see anyone who's studying or is struggling to study in school, or someone who's doing really well, go up to them and ask them, how have you helped someone in your batch today? Have you helped them clear their concepts out in math? Have you helped them clear out their issues in English literature? You know, did you make sure that they did the same amount of past papers as you for physics? And if they didn't, have you sat there to make sure that you can guide them throughout? Just ask them that, and let's see if we can all work towards reducing that competition. You know, and I don't want to get into that debate. Well, competition is important. Asad, man, you got to toughen up. You got to do this. Okay, fine. That's just my point of view. You got your point of view as well. Now, point number 3, last point. On one of the monologues, I think it was on taking responsibility. I had asked everyone on the show, whoever was watching or listening, was that let me know what you think about having a series or having a 4-part, 5-part series episode type thing in Behind the Grind, where I'm just talking about fitness, the world of fitness, and talking to athletes over here about the mindset. Because if you think about it also, it's a very, you don't go to school for 13 years, A levels या आप इंटर कर रहे हैं, and you don't go to university जहाँ पे आप सोच रहे हैं कि यार चलो econ की डिग्री पढ़ के या accounts की डिग्री लेके फिर मैं बनूंगा एक मैं एक gym खोलूंगा. People do think like that, but then at the same time, parents don't think like that. Society doesn't think that's a very conventional thing to be doing. So you are breaking a norm. You are breaking a stereotype in that way. You know that I like CrossFit. I don't know if you don't know that. Well, I like CrossFit. And I'm a big advocate of working out. I'm a big advocate of exercising. And I think that's something that we tend to underestimate. I was a fitness trainer as well for around 15 months within my community. I managed to help multiple people, like around 100, 150 people, hit their weight goals, hit their mental goals as well. And it personally helped me transform my life. Working out came in at the right time. And I think that it helped me get out of a very dark place. And I thought about having, a couple of episodes with influential individuals in the fitness industry in Karachi, if not Pakistan. And I'm very, very, very happy and, super excited to announce that my first guest on that series, which I don't have a name for, but will be the third guest on Behind the Grind, is Bilal Tariq, who is not just the owner of Matrix Fit and CrossFit BNB, but he is also the first Pakistani male to compete in the CrossFit Games. The CrossFit Games, if you don't know, is an international competition where you have the fittest individuals from all across the world fighting for that title of fittest on earth. He's the first Games athlete in Pakistan to make it. All right. And that is a huge deal. All right. There's been a change in the format this year for the Games. There's been different ways to approach your entry into the Games. And he just happens to be in Karachi. And I've been following his journey throughout. I actually wanted to call him on before he would go to Madison, before he'd go to the Games. But I know that it's like a mind game as well when you're prepping. And you can't, let go of anything. And you got to focus and you can't be distracted at all. And I didn't want to eat into that time. So tune in next week or the week after that. I'm not too sure, but most probably next week for Behind the Grind with Bilal Tariq, the fittest man in Pakistan, and also someone who has just basically broken norms, I feel, in Pakistan. He was an investment banker. Now he owns a gym and he's a trainer and he's changing lives. And most importantly, I think he's represented the country at a time when we need it most. So, hope you guys like this one, and I will see you guys in the next one. And if I offended you by anything, I'm sorry. Just please don't hurt me. Bye. And Bilal, if you are watching this, then can't wait to see you soon, man. All the very best for the Games. Till then, peace out.